Are you currently bouncing back and forth between the version of you who is so damn productive? She knows exactly what the first task of the day is. She gets up, she meditates, she does her journaling, and she sits down at her desk. And she is ready to go, and it's not even 9:05. Versus the version of you who gets up after snoozing her alarm for 3 times. She has no sense of what she's doing in that day. She scrolls TikTok for 10-20 minutes whilst drinking her morning coffee and drags herself to her desk only to sit there for the next 30 minutes wondering, should she do this task or should she do that task? You know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you do, you might be suffering from identity whiplash. Over the last 12 months, I have dragged myself out of the depths of burnout. I have stopped myself from circling the self-doubt drain, and I have experienced more expansion in the last year than I have in the 29 years that I have been on this planet. And the reason for this is that I have shifted my identity multiple times, I will have you know. So in this training, I'm going to tell you exactly why it happens and how to prevent it moving forward so that you can notice the signs and intervene before you experience the whiplash. Identity whiplash, simply put, is your old self not going quietly. It is the push-pull between old self and new self, thrashing it out to see who wins. And old self, she is not going down without a fight. But why this happens is so interesting because essentially your subconscious mind is wired for one thing and one thing only: safety. And that's it. It doesn't care if you are happy, if you are healthy, if you are wealthy, if you are loved. It doesn't care about any of that. All it cares about is if you are safe. Except safety, to the subconscious mind, is literally the familiar. And so even if it's keeping you broke, even if it's keeping you single, even if it's keeping you in a toxic relationship, even if it is keeping you spinning the hamster wheel of entrepreneur life and you are hustling your ass off and you don't want to be here, except you don't know how to get out of this cycle, your subconscious mind is literally just keeping you in that cycle because it is familiar. If that is what you are used to, that is what you are always going to get. And so everything that you do, everything that you think, everything that you believe, your identity, your belief system, the evidence that backs up these beliefs is all held within your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind runs 95% of your day. You literally cannot escape the thoughts of your subconscious mind. Your identity is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it is the one thing, yes, the one thing that will impact what your life looks like and what you achieve and how successful and happy you are. How does it do this? Well, from a neuroscience perspective on manifestation, you do not manifest the life of your dreams by simply wishing for it and wanting it. You manifest based on who you are being, not what you want. And so energetically, you need to be a match to that version of you. And the only way that you can be a match to that version of you is to align your identity. And so if you see yourself as a trier, if your identity is rooted in trying and you say to your friends, say to your families, how's business going? Yeah, I'm really trying to build my business. It's going well. I'm really, really trying. I'm trying so hard. If you ever said that, your identity is rooted in trying and you are always going to be almost successful rather than actually successful. Because if you are actually successful, then you can no longer be trying to build your business because you have built your business. Therefore, your identity is not congruent with your reality. And so, like I just said, you act in alignment with your identity, not with what you consciously think or want. And so I like to think of identity whiplash as a little joyride in a speedboat. Now, come with me on this journey, right? I want you to just close your eyes and imagine you are on a speedboat right now. The salty air, the wind through your hair, you are having the time of your life. It's all, the boat is moving around, the spray is hitting you in the face, you are laughing, you are happy, and it is just you and your identities on that boat, right? You've got old self and you've got new self because they're always with you, right? And so you're well on your way to embedding your new self. The boat is going, land is shrinking in the distance, and old self is freaking the fuck out because right now she's getting further away from land. She's getting further and further away from what she knows. And guess what? She can't fucking swim. So she drops the anchor. You are going so damn fast by now. She drops the anchor and the boat just absolutely rebounds. It stops in its tracks, right? The champagne is flying, the snacks and the food that you brought all over the floor. And old self and new self are tangled up and you are about to ask her what the fuck she's playing at. Okay? This is what it looks like. Because the version of you, new self, that you are on your way to, who is rich, who is healthy, who is calm, who has a regulated nervous system, who feels confident, who feels like she can show up for her business and her relationships with ease and work out and eat healthily and have time to herself. That version of you, the version I'm talking about because you strive for her every single day. That version of you, new self, old self, does not want you to get to because then old self becomes redundant. And so now it is a fight to see who wins. Whether new self wins top spot, podium, or whether old self can win at clawing you back. Okay, so now we know that old self and new self are fighting it out. Old self has to be so damn sneaky, right? So sneaky because you're aware of who you want to be and who you're stepping into, which also means that 90% of the time, you're probably aware when you're not acting in alignment with that, when you're not being her, when you're not thinking like her. And so old self has to be really sneaky and she has to get her claws in and she has to sabotage you in the best ways she knows how. And so old self is there when you pick up your phone and scroll Instagram instead of sitting down at your desk and getting on with the first task of the day. She's there when you've lost all sense of clarity, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you've lost your North Star and you're like, I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. I don't know what my vision is. I don't know where I'm going. I don't even know what I need to do today to move the business forward. That's her. She's right there. And she's there when you're about to start an argument with your husband. You're about to start an argument and you're going, I don't even know why he is with me. I don't know what I offer to the relationship. And, I just don't know if he loves me. And you're in that moment where you're like, should I call him and ask him why he's with me? Should I call him and ask him why he loves me? And that is old self literally being like, hi, we don't think you're good enough. And so now we can't relate this to your business. We're going to relate this to your personal life. And this is a true story. This happened to me. I was in the car. I was on the way to the gym. And I had this sinking feeling of like, I don't know why he's with me. Bearing in mind, I've been married for 2 years at this point. Like, it's not even a rocky relationship. We are so, so good. And I was just having these thoughts of like, I don't know why he's with me. I don't know what I offer to the relationship. Like, financially, I don't really contribute because I was still in the early stages of building my business. And financially, I don't contribute. I'm never really around. I'm just working my fucking ass off. And I literally was in this thought of like, I don't even know like what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, I'm just not good enough to be with him. Like, he should be with someone who has their shit together, right? And I literally was like feeling this way. And I stopped myself in my tracks and I was like, hold the fuck on. This is happening because I don't feel good enough in my business. This is happening because I haven't hit the financial milestone that I want to hit. I haven't built the business that I've been dreaming of building for the last 2 years. That is literally it. And self-sabotage and old self got her claws in and she was like, well, we've done the thing of making her not feel good enough about her business. So that didn't work. Let's try something else. And so you need to be so on the ball when old self creeps in, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to notice it until you're too late, or until you've had a little bit of a spiral, maybe like 5 minutes in, and then you're like, hold the fuck on. This is not who I am anymore, right? And so we need to be so on it with catching ourselves in these spirals, because old self, her only job is to pull you back to safety and to the familiar. And the faster we can get back on track with being new self, the faster we can talk new self down from the ledge and go, this is who we are now. You know, not the version of you who snoozes her alarm, who procrastinates every time she sits down at her desk, but the version of you who moves through the fear, who sits down at her desk with the utmost clarity of what she needs to achieve that day. The version of you who has the multi-7 figure business, who takes bold action, who says what she wants to say and not what she thinks her audience need to hear, right? The version of you who launches and absolutely seamlessly flies through it, doesn't have the big dip at the end of it, holds her capacity and doesn't burn the fuck out. That version of you, she is out there. But we need to teach the subconscious mind that she is real and that she is safe to be. Because the longer you fuck around between old self and new self, the longer it takes for you to really step into the life that you have envisioned for yourself. So, what do we do? Well, this is where truly knowing who you're stepping into becomes point A. It becomes the first thing that you need to do, because you cannot drive a car to a destination that you don't have the address for, or you don't have a map for, right? You need to get in the car, turn on Google Maps, and it's going to drive you straight to the door. But first things first, you have to know the destination. And so knowing the destination comes from who we need to be to call in the life of wealth, health, love, success, all whilst making it feel easy. And the best way to do this is to just visualize it. Shut your eyes and go, who do I need to be to call in massive amounts of wealth? Who do I need to be to hold massive amounts of wealth, of responsibility, of visibility, of clients? Who do I need to be to do that? And no, who does not mean what do I need to do each day. It needs to be, who do you need to be in terms of your identity, in terms of your belief system, in terms of what you believe about yourself to be true. And that is such a potent question to ask yourself. What do you believe about yourself to be true right now? And what does the version of you who has everything you want believe about herself to be true? And there we can see where the differences are, because we need to know who you need to be before we can then curate the actions. And so when we have the B section, the identity section, you know, the version of you who is not a trier. She is somebody who builds her business, full fucking stop. She didn't try to build her business, she builds it, right? The version of you who is a multi-7 figure CEO, who is a multi-7 figure CEO, not who is working towards. Because when you are working towards something, you are always working towards something. You are never going to be, I have this thing, right? Language, identity, everything all comes together. And so when we look at what she does each day, we can then create a list of DMAs, daily micro actions. And these are really the sweet, I was going to say sauce, but that's not really the right word. These are really the components that bring her to life. This is what enables you to embody that version of you. Because if you have been on my page or my Instagram page, you will know that I don't just do the subconscious rewiring. We also want to embody that version of you. They come together. They are a pair, and you cannot do one without the other, not to actually call in that next level identity. And so, daily micro actions. So for me and my higher self, my daily micro actions that call her in are the 5 a.m. wake up. Don't ask me why, but it just fucking works for me. And I sit, I make my coffee, I do my morning meditation, I do my morning journaling, I do my EFT tapping. And then what I do is that I will then sit down at my desk. I will look at my daily plan if I have done it. If not, I will sit down and I will do it, because that version of me who runs the multi-7 figure empire and has a movement of women doing exactly the same thing following her, that version of me, she's got clarity and she has got intention, right? We cannot just muddle together and hope we get there. And so clarity, intention, she does her daily planning. And then finally, I will do my makeup. I will put a nice outfit on. And no, it is not because I don't like my face without makeup. I could not care less about showing up without makeup on. But the version of me who has everything I want, who has the empire, she fucking looks good. And she fucking feels good. When I put a face of makeup on, that is me in my bad bitch multi-7 figure energy, right? And so putting the earrings in, putting the nice clothes on, that makes me feel fucking unstoppable. And that is a signal to my subconscious mind that I am now new self. I am not the version of me who would slob around in a hoodie and leggings all day. I'm the version of me who takes care of herself and actually respects herself enough to show up in the way that I want to. And so daily micro actions are really the final kind of component to bringing that next level version of you to life. Embodiment of her is really how you teach your subconscious mind that you're no longer the old version of you and that you are the new version of you. And so the reason that you experience identity whiplash is purely because your subconscious does not feel safe going into your next level. We're going into unfamiliar territory, and it does what it knows best at that point. Brings you back to safety, brings you back to the familiar, right? And so the first step to embedding this new identity is to first know where you're going so that we can create a roadmap, so we can reverse engineer the path. After we have the reverse engineered path, we then need to look at who we need to embody to be able to bring her to life. Once we have the visualization, once we have the vision and the pathway to the vision and the daily micro actions, you are unfucking stoppable, because every single time you choose to act in a way that calls her in, choose to make a decision in a way that calls her in, choose to think like her, choose to speak like her, that is you voting for the next version of you, the best version of you, not old self, right? And so that is how we signal to the subconscious mind that this is who we are now, and this is safe for us to be here. It's safe for us to hold this level of capacity. It is safe for us to hold this level of wealth, of love, of visibility, of clients, all of this stuff. It's all about safety, and safety in the next level. Once you create safety around your next level, you are going to have people asking you left, right, and center how you scaled to multi-7 figures whilst feeling so fucking calm, whilst showing up every single day consistently as the version of you who has time freedom, who has financial freedom, who has ease while she does it. People are going to be asking you, how the hell have you done this? What kind of sorcery is this? And you're just going to smile and you're going to go, I hacked my subconscious mind and now I'm unstoppable. And that is what I really want for you. So if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. And if you like this and you want a little bit more of me, please come and follow me on my TikTok, on my Instagram at TheFaithLivia. I will be seeing you very, very soon in the next video.